When I was in the district attorney's office, I founded a program called Young Ideas. Ideas stood for internal discipline through education in the arts and sports.
The idea was to take children who were not so far gone as to have hit somebody over the head, but to have been a passenger in an automobile that was stolen, or to have received stolen property, or to have done something on a lesser scale but looking like they were accelerating into the wrong direction. We would give them an opportunity, literally give them a contract to sign, and that contract would entail that they would either get a job and continue with that job, get an education and complete their education, or any number of other goals that were set out. And in exchange for that, we assigned them a mentor. The mentor that they were assigned wasn't an ordinary person. It was a star athlete in Philadelphia. It could have been Harold Carmichael, could have been Julius Erving, or it could have been any number of other substantial Philadelphia boxing figures. And their home numbers were exchanged. And that was going to continue, and did continue, as long as the child did what his contract required him to do, giving him a sense of commitment and fulfillment as long as he did his part of the bargain, so to speak.
In addition, the individual aspect or the individual sports aspect of these activities were boxing, running, a media club. We picked things that essentially a child couldn't make one step forward by just relying on a teammate. He had to do it himself. And the individual sports that were impacting for me, of course, were boxing and earlier cross-country running. I found that these individual sports were very critical in shaping my perseverance, my discipline, and my ability to operate independently on my own. By bringing this to these youngsters, it caused several to find themselves. And by finding a diamond in the rough, this was one of the most satisfying things I'd ever engaged in. One of the most fascinating aspects of that was that I took a yellow pad of ideas, handwritten in ink, to a meeting of CEO level individuals, board directors of ARCO here in Los Angeles while I was in Philadelphia, still part of the district attorney's office. And in that couple-hour meeting, I was able to solicit and gain a $150,000 contribution. Now, at the time, because it was the first time I'd ever proposed the idea, I didn't realize how extraordinary the accomplishment was to achieve without the benefit of all the bells and whistles and a board and everything else that goes along with projects, that kind of commitment. Later, I did realize how significant, how extraordinary it was.
That project is still a viable project. It would just require modern day mentors, but there's going to always be children that are worthy and needing of mentorship. And my hope is to reinstitute that project here with some worthy people running it on a day-to-day basis.